The new 911 Turbo S is here. I mean, it's literally here, behind my back. Is a new 992.2 Turbo S. You've probably seen some videos on the car, but most of them focus mostly on the performance numbers. Sadly, they ignore the driving experience. So what I'm gonna do today is walk you through how exactly, if at all, the new hybrid 992.2 Turbo S differs from its predecessor. So strap in and join me. The 992.2 Turbo S represents the biggest technological leap on the turbo since the 997.2, when Porsche went for a direct fuel injection engine and the PDK replaced Tiptronic. Okay, let's open the engine bay. Not much to see here, but underneath there's a completely new 3.6 flat 6 that works in conjunction with the hybrid system. We've already seen this engine on the GTS T Hybrid. In that car it made 541 horsepower and it had one big turbo. This one, however, replaced one with two, and the combined system output of this hybrid power system is 711 horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque. So it represents a substantial increase over the pre-facelift Turbo S, which made 650. Okay, speed limit is off. Shit. Yeah. Anyways, these roads are really beautiful. I'm really happy to be testing this car over here. Okay. Showing the bridge, the new bridge over the Sun River in southeastern Poland. It's been just opened, but we're not crossing the river on the bridge because I prefer this side of the river for testing cars. Anyways, showing the landscape, the beautiful Sun River. If you've never been to Poland, or this part of Poland in particular, I highly recommend it. Like I said before, it's rather tail happy. One of my main points of interest regarding this car was whether this hybrid powertrain actually improves fuel economy. For rather spirited driving that we did today, the car returned 14.5 liters per 100 kilometers. I guess it's a tad better than the previous model. What do you think? You got way more experience. Lepiej?
Nie, tak samo.
The owner says it's pretty much the same as the pre-facelift model. Okay, so what's my general opinion on the new 992.2 Turbo S e-hybrid? Okay, let's start with the dislikes to get them out of the way. First of all, the instrument cluster, as you know, is now all digital. They ditched the analog rev counter and replaced it with a digital one. I consider it to be a downgrade. Ditching the traditional ignition key and replacing it with a generic plastic looking start-stop button is another downgrade on the interior. So okay, let's move to the driving experience itself. I think they kind of cut back on the soundproofing on the underbody. I've noticed lots of noises of rocks hitting the underbody. I didn't notice it on the previous one. Here it's very much noticeable. It's not that I mind it too much because it makes the driving experience more sportish, but if you use the car as a daily driver, it might be an issue. And my third and major gripe and biggest disappointment was the fuel consumption, because as you saw in the driving section, the car ended up returning like 14.5 liters per 100 kilometers. You do the math, how many mpg that is, but I think it's in like high teens. Frankly, I was expecting a little bit better. Okay, so let's now move to the good stuff, to the likes. Many of you, I guess, are interested if the car feels or is objectively faster than the previous one. So if you look up on the YouTube, look it up, there's been some tests and it's been proven to be actually faster than the previous one. Up to 100 kilometers per hour, the difference is negligible. 200 kilometers per hour, also not too great, but from 200 kilometers per hour onwards, it gets pretty substantial. In everyday driving, objectively, it's not that much faster, but there's a huge but. It does feel much faster. If you fancy the old school turbo catapult or rubber band feeling. It's been completely lost. The engine now feels like a huge V12, yet very rev happy V12. There's no this rubber band feeling. It revs, it's got very wide torque range. Like I said, it feels like a naturally aspirated engine. Ironically, it sounds more turbocharged than the previous one. You get lots of this whoosh, whoosh, swooshing sound. That's very curious since the car, the turbos are now driven by electricity, so there are no physical wastegates on the turbos, but somehow it sounds very turbocharged, and it sounds cool to me. What's more? Driving dynamics and handling. Mind you, I'm comparing it to the non-PDCC equipped car. So the silver one I drove didn't have the PDCC chassis. This one did, but most of the time I drove it with the option off. But still, it provided much more planted driving experience. Much less body roll. So even if with the option off, you can definitely feel some improvement in the chassis department. The brakes, as you probably expect, ceramics, great. I guess the pedal travel, the initial bite is a tad bit more aggressive than the steels on the silver one. What's more, in general, it's a complete package. Besides the few gripes I told you about, it's generally the turbo formula perfected once again. They stepped up their game even more. I know that it's been repeated over and over with each new generation. The reviewers rave about how the turbo has gotten even better, but I can tell you that the improvement on this one is quite substantial. So it's really worth checking out. So without repeating myself too much, it's a really great complete package, and me personally being let's say not a huge fan of electrification, of hybridization, if this is what Porsche's idea for improvement and pushing the traditional motoring forward is like, I'm all for it, because nowhere in the whole experience I did feel that the improvement, adding electricity got in the way of the traditional driving experience. No. If I didn't know that the car had a hybrid powertrain, I wouldn't know really. It's very traditional in the sense that it drives, it doesn't make this silly electric motor sound. You can't drive it in electric only mode, so the electricity is there purely for performance and responsiveness. Like I said, the turbos spool up immediately, so it's basically only positives when it comes to the turbo as going hybrid. So I hope you enjoy my, I guess, somewhat insightful for YouTube terms, review on the all new 992.2 Turbo S. If you enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel. If you have some feedback, feel free to leave a comment below, and I hope to see you, and I see you in the next video, and I hope you learned something from this one. So take care.